The Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Company reopened on April 7, 2015, after the Easter weekend. The staff was shocked to discover the aftermath of the heist. The vault breached, safe deposit boxes ransacked, and millions of pounds worth of valuables missing. The news of the heist quickly spread, capturing the attention of the media and the public. The audacity and scale of the burglary, combined with the fact that it had been executed by a gang of elderly men, made it an instant sensation. Headlines around the world marveled at the skill and daring of the grandpa gangsters. The Metropolitan Police launched Operation Eternal to investigate the heist. Despite the gang's meticulous planning, they had left behind several crucial pieces of evidence. Surveillance footage captured their movements in and around the building, and forensic experts found traces of DNA on the tools and equipment they had used. Detective Superintendent Craig Turner, leading the investigation, emphasized the complexity of the case. The gang had exploited a series of vulnerabilities in the building's security, demonstrating a level of expertise and planning that was uncommon in modern-day burglaries. As the investigation progressed, the police began to identify the members of the gang. They traced the van used to transport the stolen goods to a nearby parking lot where it had been abandoned. Inside, they found a wealth of evidence, including the gang's tools and clothing. The police also monitored the movements of the suspects, using a combination of surveillance and informants to track their activities. They discovered that the gang had been planning to divide the loot and go their separate ways, hoping to avoid detection by blending back into their everyday lives. On May 19, 2015, the police launched a series of coordinated raids across London, arresting Brian Reeder, Terry Perkins, John Collins, and Daniel Jones. The gang members were taken into custody without incident, and the stolen goods were recovered from various locations, including hidden compartments in their homes. The arrests marked the culmination of a complex and challenging investigation, and the police were praised for their diligence and determination. The gang members, for their part, expressed a mix of resignation and defiance, knowing that their criminal careers had finally come to an end. The trial of the Hatton Garden Gang began in November 2015 at Woolwich Crown Court. The defendants faced a range of charges, including conspiracy to commit burglary and handling stolen goods. The prosecution, led by Philip Evans QC, presented a detailed case outlining the gang's meticulous planning and execution of the heist. The evidence against the gang was overwhelming, and the defendants' attempts to downplay their involvement were unconvincing. The jury heard testimony from forensic experts, surveillance footage, and intercepted communications, all of which painted a damning picture of the gang's activities. Despite the mounting evidence, the gang members remained defiant. Brian Reeder, in particular, sought to portray himself as a harmless retiree, arguing that his advanced age and poor health made it impossible for him to have played a significant role in the heist. However, the prosecution countered that Reeder's age and experience were precisely what had made the heist possible. Terry Perkins and John Collins also attempted to minimize their involvement, claiming that they had been coerced into participating by more dangerous criminals. However, their testimonies were inconsistent, and the jury quickly saw through their attempts to evade responsibility. In January 2016, the jury found Brian Reeder, Terry Perkins, John Collins, and Daniel Jones guilty on all charges. The judge, Christopher Kinch QC, described the heist as an audacious and meticulously planned burglary, and emphasized the need for a significant deterrent sentence. Brian Reeder, due to his advanced age and health issues, received a sentence of 6 years and 3 months. Terry Perkins and John Collins were each sentenced to 7 years in prison, while Daniel Jones received 6 years. The judge acknowledged that the sentences would likely mean that the men would spend the remainder of their lives in prison, but stressed that their actions had caused significant harm to their victims. The trial and sentencing of the Hatton Garden Gang captured the public's imagination, with many people expressing a mix of admiration and disbelief at the gang's audacity. The media coverage was extensive, with numerous documentaries and books exploring the details of the heist and the backgrounds of the men involved. The gang's story also raised important questions about the security of safe deposit facilities and the ability of elderly individuals to commit serious crimes. The heist served as a reminder that age and experience can be powerful assets in the world of crime, and that even the most secure locations can be vulnerable to determined and skilled criminals.